Everyone, it's your girl Anna. I'm back and better again. If I'm too much, go find less. My best friend Andrew, who lives in California, got this shirt for me for my birthday last year, I think. Yeah. I'm trying to do more videos out and about and like be less scared of people. Because I just saw someone walk by and I was like, oh my gosh. But I just wanted to talk about how great inner child healing has been for me because I realized last month in April, I really triggered myself and I really was acting kind of insane. I did not act the way that I wanted to in front of a professor. I lashed out at one of my friends and that really hurt. Um, And then after I had this huge crash out, I won $5,000 the next day. So that was like super confusing. But I want to talk about how important it is to do inner child stuff because it's been making me feel so calm. And yesterday I went ice skating with my partner, Andrew, who has been so patient because I've been on a celibacy journey since like October of 2024. And I wasn't sure if he was going to stick around, if I'm going to be honest. I was like, I can't give you what you need in a romantic relationship if that's what you're looking for right now. And you're completely valid in doing that. And he said, like, whatever capacity I need him to be in a level in my life, he's willing to do it because he recognizes that I'm going through something pretty like turmoil and he doesn't judge me. We had so much fun ice skating. He did so great for like the last time he ice skated. He said he was like a kid or something. The last time I ice skated was either like a year or two ago. But that was something that I always really liked doing when I was a kid. And I was really sad when I stopped doing lessons. Like, it felt like I was doing lessons and then I just wasn't doing lessons anymore. And I really liked it. So that was like super freeing. And today, I woke up really early. I posted a bit of content and I edited stuff. I texted back my friends. I still really need to answer a bunch of emails, but I'm trying not to be too hard on myself because I'm having like decision paralysis. I also reached out to this ad that I saw in a theater group on Facebook for potentially doing an online submission for this short play. It's like a 15-minute short play about um, a queer couple on the subway, and it's like in response to the current political climate, and it's like taking place on like in a relationship, and it's zeroing in on it and like the dynamics of them. And so I think I'm going to audition for that. I auditioned for this play called Birthday Candles where the main character is like reliving her birthdays. So that was super fun because I did that with my friend Marie and Caroline, and the people are super chill at this theater group, so I'm very grateful for that. No matter what happens, I'm just grateful to audition because then it like prepares you for other auditions you do in the future, and it's just good to be involved in community stuff like that. I normally get really anxious with how I act around new people in the theater world specifically because I know how important impressions are. But then when I care too much, I feel like I present as someone that I'm not. And then sometimes I worry that I can be too much myself because then I can kind of be like scattered. And I want people to take me seriously, but also know that I'm approachable and I'm not just there for the art, if that makes sense. Can't say that I wasn't just there for parts in the past, like before my healing journey, because I just thought that everything was a competition and I thought that like everyone was against each other. But now that I'm like coming into my own, I feel safe around groups of people again, and it's just like really beautiful. Caroline Marie and I also did a photo shoot in Queens, and it was so much fun. And we dressed up like princesses and fairies, and we did a shoot for Slay Spray, which I'm just super excited about. And it's been so wonderful having friends who are also like fun and whimsy and have like similar interests as I do, like childlike wonder. I am so privileged. I have such amazing friendships in my life, and I take pride in the fact that I really tried cultivating relationships throughout my life. And when I noticed that they were really hurting because of what I was going through, and it was like bleeding into every aspect of my life, I do think that I did a good job of reaching out and communicating the way that I'm like, listen, if you're my friend, like I want you to tell me when I'm doing something wrong, please. And I actually feel safe and comfortable with the girlfriends that I have now to say this to them, because they'll say to me, they're like, Anna, if I had a problem with you, I would have told you. That's just the type of person I am. And I'm like, okay, cool. I have been doing like more videos showing my growth since like being impacted by domestic violence last year. Like I did an ice skating video talking about how I used to feel really uncomfortable as a kid in my body. So I was kind of very awkward on the ice. So it's so nice like doing movement again and doing activities that require movement, because it feels like I'm getting power back in my body. Because that's the thing that I felt robbed the most from. It's like I felt trapped in a different body for most of my life. And now it feels like I'm returning to my body. And with returning to my body, I'm like, wow, I really did a number on myself. And then I'm like, wow, like I sabotaged so many relationships. I sabotaged. And that was partly why I went on my celibacy journey. And my sick, demented brain from being sexualized so much, I thought I was a bad person for not wanting to have sex with people that I was in a relationship with. I thought that I would like owe them, but it's like completely normal after you've been sexually assaulted to just have time for you're so completely turned off on it. And it's not your responsibility to like fix that or ignore it just to satisfy the other person. And it's not even like these people expected this out of me, including my current partner, because I just assumed that they expected that, and I just assumed that that's just how all guys saw me. So when they didn't do that, I take it as like extreme abandonment and rejection, and I feel like there's something inherently wrong with me if they weren't sexualizing me. Obviously I'm breaking this down now, but it just feels like people didn't see value in me unless it was, but like that's just how I was programmed. It's really messed up. But I've had a lot of bumps in the road with my current partner. Like I told him off the bat, I was like, I don't think I'm like healthy enough to be in a relationship, like a romantic relationship. I'm telling you right now, I will not be able to give you what you need. And he told me no matter what capacity we were in, he wanted to be in my life, because he said being in my life has made him learn a lot of stuff. And he knows that I struggle with abandonment. So he's like, I like you as a person. I love you as a person. Even if you're not my girlfriend, I will always be there for you. And that is something that I don't think has ever been communicated to me once in my life, like romantic relationship wise. I've had very good friendships. I guess especially with someone who I had been sexual with before. And I didn't expect him to be like, okay, you don't owe me anything. Like, I will be here, even if we're just friends. And that, I think, is something so special, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I should be in a romantic relationship, but he just tries and bees there for me and, like, sits through, like, all of my big, crazy emotions, asks me what, like, ways to fix it, because he says, like, I think, well, obviously, he's very invested for the long term, and he's not trying to control that aspect, which I feel like I try to control way too much with people, because I was always worried about abandonment. I realized that my core wound is abandonment, and I just have to tell myself, like, if people care about you, they're not going to leave you, because someone who leaves you does not care about you. And also, I lack emotional permanence. And I think I've hurt a lot of people because of that, because sometimes people just solve issues on their own terms. But I need that to be communicated to me. Because when that's communicated to me, I know not to take it personal. But then I think I can be really scary to approach it communication-wise sometimes, so nonetheless, I'm trying. But I think that being on a celibacy journey because of my trauma is the best way to go for me. I don't want to speak on anyone else's behalf, but I'm really working to decenter men out of my life, and celibacy has been the only thing that hasn't made me feral, and it made me locked the fuck in. And now I'm graduating graduate school next month, and I won an innovation challenge for a self-defense tool. And I would like to credit that to celibacy powers, because I've been channeling it into my creativity. Like photo shoots as a fairy princess. Come on. I've met the best girlfriends. Andrew is still there for me, no matter what capacity, no matter what my mood is that day. He is there for me. And that's really comforting, because it's finally, I'm starting to feel, especially since, like, we did ice skating yesterday, but we weren't on top of each other. Like, he was doing his own thing, I was doing my own thing. Like, now that I know that, it's comforting, and I feel like we're starting to get to know each other outside of that lens, where it's like we could actually really build that foundation, which is something I think I robbed from connections that I've had with people, because I just wanted to rush it, because I was afraid of intimacy, and I was really scared of getting to know someone, because when you get to really know someone, they get to really know you, and like people knowing to know me, that's really freaking scary, especially if they kind of remind you of you but better, or like they remind you of other people from your past but better. It's just really overwhelming, because then you're like, I don't know what to say. You like remind me of a person I used to be in my life, because you guys share the same mannerisms and the same eyes, but you got in the same interests, but you both handle it so differently and cope with the world so differently. So it's just so infatuating to me. And not every single person sees me as a sexual object, but my brain tells me that. Yeah. Hope you enjoy.